Welcome back to another episode of Avid Fantasy Football. We got the wide receiver rankings this week for Week 13. Let's go ahead and just jump right into this one. Again, if you haven't liked and subscribed, go ahead and do so. It means a lot to us. But kicking us off here, we got number 1, Tyreek Hill at the Commanders. Definitely like the opportunity for Tyreek Hill here. Obviously, he's been killing it all year long, and he should still continue to do that here against the Commanders. Number 2, CeeDee Lamb versus Seahawks. Another great opportunity for him here. Good matchup-wise. He should be killing it as well for you. Number 3, Keenan Allen at the Patriots. Another guy who's just been lighting it up all over the place right now. Number 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Struggled a little bit the last couple weeks. He's been putting up a decent amount of points, though, but now he goes against the Saints in New Orleans. He's number 4. Number 5, A.J. Brown versus 49ers. Yeah, they're bottom of the pack against wide receivers, points given up. So A.J. Brown, love the opportunity for him. He's number 5. Number 6, you got Mike Evans versus the Panthers. Good matchup for him here, as him and Baker Mayfield are just connected right now. There's nothing more you can really say except for Mike Evans should be in the top 10 this week, and that's why he's number 6 for me. 7, Jamar Chase at the Jaguars. Him and Jake Browning have definitely been making a connection the last 2 weeks. This could be the second full week of practice with Jake Browning as the starting quarterback, and the Jaguars have given up a good amount of points to wide receivers. Love the opportunity for him in Week 13. Now we got number 8, Michael Pittman Jr. versus the Titans. Good opportunity for him in this matchup as well, as he killed it last week. Number 9, Tank Dell, a guy who's been on the radar for a lot of people and should be on everybody's roster at this point. If he is available, you should definitely pick him up. This dude is unbelievable, and he's going up against the Broncos. Number 10, Brandon Ayuk at the Eagles. Eagles are bottom of the pack against wide receivers, points given up. Definitely like the opportunity for Ayuk. Now we got number 11 here, Jalen Waddle at the Commanders. A guy who definitely has been a little more disappointing than usual, but this last week he actually did pretty well against the Jets, so now he gets the Commanders. Love the opportunity for him. 12, Calvin Ridley. Is he back? Is he back? He finally seems like he's back. We'll have to wait and see this week if he can put up 3 straight great performances, but he is up against the Bengals. It's a home game against the Bengals, so Calvin Ridley's going to be number 12 for me. 13, Garrett Wilson versus the Falcons. Tim Boyle should have a better opportunity now that he has a whole nother week of practice, and Garrett Wilson is definitely his wide receiver 1, so Garrett Wilson, number 13. Then you got number 14, Christian Kirk, another guy on the opposite side lining up with Ridley. Should be a good opportunity for him against the Bengals here. He didn't do the best performance last week, but he did put up a good amount of points, and he's still in the wide receiver 1 conversation here, as Calvin Ridley should be the wide receiver 2, if not a 1A, 1B with Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley, depending on how this week goes. Definitely seems to be leaning more Ridley than right now. Number 15, DK Metcalf. Did not perform very well against the 49ers, just struggled all around. He did have Geno Smith, obviously, who is a little banged up. Now he goes up against Cowboys, which they just got torched by Curtis Samuel, Dotson, and Terry McLaurin. So good opportunity for DK Metcalf. 16, Devonta Smith versus the 49ers. Definitely been getting a little bit more looks now, especially with Goddard out. So he's definitely benefiting from that. So 49ers opportunity here for him to continue to provide some fantasy upside to your team. Number 17, Cooper Kupp versus the Browns. This defense is banged up for the Browns. Cooper Kupp is definitely the wide receiver 1 in LA. Good opportunity for him. 18, Deebo Samuel against the Eagles. Same thing as Brandon Ayuk. Bottom of the pack for the Eagles. He should have a good opportunity here in Week 13. Number 19, you got DeAndre Hopkins versus the Colts here. Colts have been struggling with points given up to wide receivers, and Hopkins is definitely doing a lot better now that Will Levis isn't at quarterback. Whether Will Levis is performing or not, Hopkins has been able to put up a decent amount of points. He's 19. 20, Courtland Sutton at the Texans. Texans starting to slow down a little bit here on the defensive side, and Courtland Sutton is definitely the one that Russell Wilson is throwing it to the most, so Courtland Sutton's number 20 for me this week. Number 21, Nico Collins versus the Broncos. Nico Collins is definitely would be the wide receiver 1 if it wasn't for Tank Dell, but Tank Dell is definitely taking that over right now. Nico Collins was a wide receiver 2 more or less now. He's still going to get more of the red zone targets, and against the Broncos, like the opportunity for him in Week 13. 22, Terry McLaurin versus the Dolphins. Good opportunity for McLaurin. Dolphins are slightly getting better when it comes to points given up to wide receivers. Now they got Jalen Ramsey back, but knowing that they just scored a good amount of points with McLaurin, Dotson, and Curtis Samuel against the Dolphins, I do like Terry McLaurin's opportunity more against the Dolphins here, as I believe Ramsey will be more on the speedy guy of Curtis Samuel and Jahan Dotson. Number 23, Rashee Rice at the Packers. Keenan Allen did good a couple weeks ago against the Packers, and Amon-Ra St. Brown did decent against the Packers. Why not Rashee Rice with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback? He's 23. 24, Chris Godwin versus Panthers. Not as good as Mike Evans, doesn't have the connection with Baker, but he's still able to get you a good amount of points here, especially against the Panthers, who have been struggling. So 24 for Chris Godwin. 25, Deontay Johnson versus the Cardinals. There's a lot of turmoil going on right now with the Steelers offense and in general after they fired Matt Canada after a loss to the Browns. Then they come out the next week. They get a win against the Bengals, but not in a great fashion, more of an ugly fashion. But Cardinals are bottom of the pack when it comes to the defense in the NFL, so if anybody's going to be able to capitalize here, Deontay Johnson being Kenny Pickett's number one guy, I think that that's going to be a good opportunity. And we might not even see Pickett. It might be Trubisky, depending on how they want to go about that. 26, Marquise Brown at the Steelers. Posing wide receiver here, wide receiver 1. Now it's Marquise Brown, and he's got Kyler Murray, and they finally seem to be connecting a little bit more. So definitely like Marquise Brown at 26, 27. A guy who should be back this week after missing multiple weeks and of just resting. T. Higgins at the Jaguars. Definitely a guy you could see as a big body, get the ball to him. He'll win the 50-50 for the most part. T. Higgins is that guy. And definitely Jake Browning could definitely use him in a game against the Jaguars. 28, Romeo Doubs versus the Chiefs. He seems to be the wide receiver 1, at least for the last couple weeks. Against the Lions, not so much, as he does tend to line up a little bit more in the slot that game. 29, Jaden Reed, somebody who is definitely benefiting from Jordan Love right now. Jordan Love is loving targeting Reed, and he goes up against the Chiefs here. Not the best opportunity, but, 3 straight weeks with a touchdown for Jaden Reed. I absolutely love the opportunity there, especially because he lines up in the slot and could get explosive plays on the field against the Chiefs. And ending our list here, 30, Tyler Lockett versus the Cowboys. There's a whole lot of people that are on bye this week that I would love to have on this list, but unfortunately because they are on bye, I can't do it. So Tyler Lockett's going to fill in our 30 spot against the Cowboys here. Not the best opportunity, but definitely has the potential downfield. And that'll do it for our wide receiver rankings for Week 13. Like I said, if you haven't liked, subscribe. It goes a long way if you made it all the way through. Let us know if there's anything you change about this list or if I'm missing anybody. This is just based on how I feel the week could potentially play out and how they are going to perform based on matchups, in my opinion. Obviously, there are a couple guys that are going to have tougher matchups, but again, due to bye weeks, really can't put those lower-end guys up higher. But let me know what you guys think at the end of it. Other than that, see you next week.